Hey guys, hello world. If anyone is listening, I'm in a strange place. I have kind of run out of motivation for many things in my life. But what's weird is that I don't care that much anymore. For example, my screen time recently has been through the roof, like as if it's a job, as if it's like a full-time, like overtime, intense job that I do is looking at screens. And I'll have my iPad, I'll be watching something, but then I'm on my phone at the same time, and I'll be researching something, but then I'm like, and then I'll change it to be on the iPad, and then I'm watching clips on my phone while I'm like, it's just like never ending, like crazy never ending. But I used to have always in the back of my mind so much shame and guilt and like pressure to stop. And that would make the whole experience, worse. But that shame and that guilt and that pressure would help me snap out of it at some point. And where I've been going in this kind of deep acceptance of self and deep restoration, just using big words, restoration. I don't actually say that in my real life. Anyway, I have been going through a deep season of rest recently, even though I actually have been getting things done and I've been moving in a different way in my healing journey. So it's not like I've been doing nothing, but lots of the time I'm doing nothing and I'm accepting that. And part of the nothingness has enabled me to just have just ridiculous amounts of time looking at screens, which isn't actually nothing, it's like numbing. But the nothingness that I'm really talking about and the rest that I'm really talking about is just not feeling shame and pressure and guilt. Like I said, it's just a completely different experience for me, and it makes you worry that you're never gonna actually pick the slack up again. But I think that it's coming, but it's going to be slower and it's going to be driven more with love, and ultimately it will be more sustainable, and that's why it's taking longer for me to jump on that train. But it is quite bizarre because there are moments during this period of my life where I just wonder, am I ever gonna pick myself out of this vibration, if you will? Because a lot of the world, especially right now, where things are just so incredibly intense, like worldwide, many of us are just like rotting. And it makes me wonder if sometimes when I'm in this state, as if I'm ever going to be managed to to get out of it. But I hope that I will, and I think that I will. And I think that recording this video is part of the help, because as I've not really been bothered to journal recently, I have been reading. I'll give myself some credit. I have been reading. I've been reading this book about a wild hare. I'll tell you maybe about that in a minute. But I haven't been able to really journal much. Only about specific things. There's only one thing that I've been able to journal about. So at least there's that. But otherwise I'm not really expressing my thoughts and getting it all out and moving through this period, I just can't be bothered, and I'm just not finding that enjoyment of it. And I'm just not finding enjoyment of a lot of things, to be honest. Just going outside, for one. I just don't even really see the point in it at the moment. And that's quite crazy, really. That's kind of sad. But I haven't even been feeling bad at home, just doing my own thing, like watching stuff and learning about stuff. At least I do learn about stuff, but a lot of it is just slop, just slop. But I think about, like, on my days off, I think about going outside, and I think my outside life mostly revolves around chores, especially as someone with ADHD. Things you enjoy can feel like chores too. So at the moment, I feel like I can only really handle 2 outside tasks for my days off. Or actually, on my days that I work, I probably only leave the house once when I go to work and I come back. But on my days off, I know I have to do food shopping quite regularly. And the other time when I might leave my house, I don't know, taking the bins out or dumping some stuff at a charity shop or something like that. So it ends up being about twice that I'll leave the house, but it's a big chore. And that's a shame. But I'm just going to keep rambling because actually, why not? This is my video. I ramble if I want to. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to carry on with that. Going outside is a chore, a big, big, big chore. Even like, I love being in nature. I have a few friends that I do actually enjoy seeing. And I do see, I'd say I see a friend about once a week. That is all I can really handle. And that's what I was going to say is, going outside would be such a great thing. If I had like a life to go to outside, like meeting people I felt comfortable around, going for coffee. I'm not even drinking caffeine anymore, but you know what I mean. Going to hobbies, fitness, going for a run, all of these things. I would enjoy all of these things if I was in that life at the moment, but I'm not. And I'm here, and it takes so much to get to there. And I know that getting there means you have to push yourself. I've done this so many times. But in the past, I was pushed, I was driven with such intense shame, guilt, and pressure that practically overnight I would go from here to here. And I would just do all the hobbies, I'd see all the people, I'd be going out, I'd have all this energy. I would just be completely, for lack of a better word, manic, just really manic, high on life. And I've done that so many times. And that deep urge and push is not coming because I'm not feeling that way anymore. So it means I have to slowly, sustainably add these things in bit by bit. And so it's just going to be chores along the way, just chores, effort. And I can't be bothered, really. I can't be bothered, but I will, because that's what I do. I'm on the healing, growing journey. And what's really magical when I think about it is, if I do, which I think I will, manage to get on that path, then that means that I probably will stay there this time and stay disciplined and stay. And in some ways I am disciplined, but stay active and social and have a life, because I would have built it, and so it will feel safe and nourishing and enjoyable, not just for a short time, and not just around people that you haven't even built trust with or anything like that. So yeah, I guess I'm trying to figure out what my next step is. I think intuitively my next step might be going for like a morning run. Maybe because I'm not very active right now. It's tough. Do you know what though? It is so tough living in a city. I have been really, 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 really struggling with that recently. And this isn't a very large city, but it's incredibly overwhelming. There's so many people, so many bright lights and loud noises and pollution, even though it's not that bad here, but you can't walk even just to the shop without breathing in like cigarette smoke and loads of car fumes, and there's so much grey, especially where I live now. I live very central, and so as soon as I walk out my door it's just grey everywhere, and that's jarring, so jarring. And especially when you're in a kind of sensitive, cocoony kind of place that I've been in, exposing myself to concrete every time I want to go outside, and I have to be around all of this concrete. I just can't. I've just been struggling with it. It doesn't even take me that long to walk to nature, to be fair, really, but 20 minutes to walk to some proper nature stuff, which is, a massive blessing compared to many, many, many people who live in cities. But it's not really been for me. But I don't have the means. I can't afford to mentally, and in other ways, I can't afford to leave at the moment. So I'm here and I'm staying here. But it's hard. And yeah, I just need to figure out my next steps. But this has just been growing pains in general. My 20s, I think most people's 20s, it is like that. And yeah, I think that's all I've got to say for now. But wish me luck if you're watching for my next steps, whatever they are. Okay, bye. And good luck with yours as well. Okay, bye.